I would want me as a juror for me because after spending some time with those people in there, I came to the conclusion that like, man, so many of these people need to be let the fuck go.
Really?
They have learned their lesson. They are ready to go. You almost never heard anybody be like, can't wait to get out. I'm gonna sell some dope and pillage and steal. No, they were like, can't wait to get out. I'm gonna get that forklift job. I'm gonna take care of my family. I'm gonna work hard this time. I'm gonna stay away from them people and those people, and I shouldn't have never been there anyway. And I'm not gonna let anybody put any damn guns in my house again. It wasn't even my gun. He was just keeping it in my house, and like shit like that. Like these are people focused on a future that did not involve crime, and they had learned their lesson already because they'd been in for like 8-10 years, and they still had like 5-6 more years to go and shit like that.
Like, ever see those old photos of like the guardian angels in the New York City subways, and the subways were all like graffitied, and it was genuinely dangerous, especially at nighttime. That was the environment before all that like super criminal law, 3 strikes you're out stuff came in. And now like most of the population, is like, dude, they've gone way too hard. Some of these 3 strikers, like 2 of those strikes were kind of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
Whatever. Like, he got into a bar fight that he didn't start, and this thing was hardly even a violent offense at all. And but that third one, like, or maybe the first of the third, was real. And it just, punishments don't fit the crime sometimes. And I wonder, like, I kind of think that we're doing it wrong. I'm on that page, but it's like, if you swing too far, you might get the 1980s again. And I don't know what the answer is.
You know what sucks about that is, like, in the late 80s, isn't that when Reagan was like, we don't need these camps for mentally deranged people, we're shutting them all down. Like he shut down all the mental hospitals, and it's like, all that's going to do is flood prisons with people who really
homeless.
shouldn't be there. And yeah, that's pretty fucked.
Yeah.
Did you see mentally ill people? Like,
that's what when Taylor mentioned that, I started thinking if I did. No, I don't think so. There were a lot of sick people. There were a lot of like people who were ill in one way or another with chronic issues.
Yeah, the cough guy.
There were old people in there, who like could barely get around and had walkers and stuff, and were handicapped.
Were they abused or
taken care of?
Game?
They were taken care of. There wasn't really a game to speak of. There were people who sort of ran side businesses, but there wasn't like a gang to support them necessarily. There was just.
But you mentioned Snow had stood up. I think it was Snow stood up for himself several times.
Yeah.
Right, but these old guys never had to. Like, they must have viewed Snow.
You just gotta. It's just like, if you take, how much issue are you going to take with the smallest bit of disrespect? A guy who's just like joking around with you and like touching you a little bit too much. That's the sort of thing that would set Snow off, ready to fight. And those are the kind of confrontations that he would have. Like, somebody got a little bit too familiar with him, and he felt disrespected at all, or if somebody sat in his seat, or something like that. But like, nobody was like looking for any kind of physical trouble, like openly. Like, nobody's walking around with a chip on their shoulder.
TV guys seem to have a chip.
He definitely had a chip, and he also didn't like white people, and he didn't like me, and I think he was upset that I had such a little amount of time. And it was a lot of things compounding that guy. That guy just had a bad attitude too. He was always just in a bad mood. It seemed like he'd been in for 14 and he had 2 more, and he looked young. I was like, when did you start? I didn't ask him. I didn't give a fuck. He was I hated him. I hated that guy. He was
fuck that guy, making you watch the boring ass news about Montgomery. Who fucking cares?
I wanted everybody loves Raymond. I want to see what Ray was up to.
So why was that guy your nemesis?
Everybody would love Raymond.
He just wanted all the TVs on the fucking local news. But we watched the news.
You kind of mentioned that he was grumpy all the time. Like, I imagine there was a unspoken friction that you didn't let on about. Am I off target?
Just all, like I slept through the time to pick up my laundry one day, and I went over. He ran the laundry, and I went over like an hour late, and I was like, "Hey, I slept through when everybody picked the laundry up. Can I get it now?" And it's like right back there behind him on a shelf. And he's like, "Nope, got to come in tomorrow." I'm like, "All right, what time?" "Same time as every time." Cool. All right.
Maybe you don't know.
Should have been like,
I'm not good
I'll
at times.
Fight you. right now. For my laundry.
It's like right back there, motherfucker. You know, just there were a few other things. Just always, you know, just he and I did not get along. Always something. Oh, just always some little minor thing. Just having some issue with him.
And you,
There's this guy that's fucking with me all the time. You know, over there, and he's like, Raymond, you don't need to worry about that. I'll take care of any problem you have. Fucking big retard brother.
Yeah, I like that show. His the overbearing mother, the whole thing. That was good.